Okay, today we are going to be focusing on solving word problems. So, we are going to take a look at a list of items of what you're going to look for when you see a word problem. A lot of times students think they see a bunch of words and they get freaked out and they just don't know what to do. But it's your job to persevere, do your best, and these tips will help you be able to solve word problems. So the first thing you should do, the most important thing for you to do, is to visualize the word problem. We've talked about this reading strategy during reading class, and what that means is when you read it or listen to the problem, you're going to kind of make a picture or make a little movie in your mind of what the problem is asking you. The next thing that will really help you is to list what you know, what information the question has given you. Next, you want to list the things that you need to know. What is the question you're being asked in the word problem? Fourth, you're going to actually draw a picture. You can draw any type of picture that helps you best to really visualize the word problem, and this is going to help you the most. After you draw a picture, then you're going to write an equation. You need to figure out what operation do you need to use. Do you need to add? Do you need to multiply? Do you need to add and multiply? And then last, once you have the equation, you're going to solve the equation and then solve the final word problem. Thinking about what question was asked of you, what you need to know, and then you're going to solve that problem. So those are the steps of solving a word problem. And next, we're going to go over some examples, and we're going to put all this in action. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to actually put our list of steps you take to solve word problems into action, and we are going to look at this word problem right here. And I'll go ahead and read it out loud. You can read it aloud with me. There are 4 pencil boxes. In each pencil box, there are 6 pencils. How many pencils are there in total? So the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to look back to that word problem a couple times. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to visualize that word problem in my head. So I'm going to reread each sentence and kind of make a picture. So there are 4 pencil boxes. So I'm picturing there's these 4 rectangular boxes, and I'm picturing that there's 4 of them. And in my mind, for some reason, they're all green. And I picture if you shake them, there's pencils in these boxes. All right, so I'm picturing 4 pencil boxes. All right, so now let's read the next sentence. In each pencil box, there are 6 pencils. So I picture if you open the box and look inside, there are 6 different pencils in each of the boxes. All right, how many pencils are there in total? So I picture this problem is asking me if I were to take out all of the pencils in the boxes and count them up, how many pencils are there in total? So the first thing I did is I visualized that word problem so I can understand the problem. And notice how I reread the problem. I read each sentence and really tried to understand it. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to list what we know. So what information do we know? And I like to call this WIK, W-I-K, and that stands for what I know. And so what I know is that there are 4 pencil boxes. All right, because that's my first piece of information. I could cross that. And then in each pencil box, there are 6 pencils. So 6 pencils in each box. All right, and so I just listed what you know. That's all the information that's there. Okay, sometimes word problems will add extra information that's trying to trick you. So it's really important from this list to decide what's important information. And I know both these pieces are pretty important. All right, now we need to list the question. What is the question asking me? So that's called my wink, what I need to know. And so what I need to know is the question I'm being asked, and that's how many pencils are there in total? How many pencils and a question mark. So that is what I need to know. And I'm going to save this slide and come back to it. Because next, so we visualize the word problems, we list what we know, we list what we need to know, and now we're going to draw a picture. So I'm first going to draw a picture of my 4 pencil boxes, and I pictured that they were rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 pencil boxes. All right. And then there's 6 pencils in each box. So I'm going to draw 6 pencils. And I can just write the number 6 because there's 6 pencils in each box. You could also, if you wanted, you could literally just draw 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could draw 6 pencils in each box, whatever way works best for you. All right, so there's a couple ways of doing it. All right, and so I just drew my picture. So I picture there's 4 boxes, 6 pencils in each box. And so now this might be a tricky piece for some people. We need to write an equation. And remember, an equation is you need to figure out, it's a number sentence, so you need to figure out what operation are you going to do? Are you adding? Are you subtracting? Are you multiplying? Are you dividing? There's actually a couple things that you could do. I picture this equation right here shows 4 groups of 6. There's 4 boxes and there's 6 in each box. So I could use, and I know when I'm using 4 groups of 6 with the same number, I'm using multiplication. So I could use 4 times 6 as my equation. Or if I'm still thinking, if that's a little bit too hard for me, and I know I'm trying to add up, I'm trying to figure out how many pencils there are in total, I could also just add 6 4 times. And remember, which is basically the add it strategy. So I could do 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. And this is showing the same thing. 4 times 6 is equal to or the same thing as 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. Both strategies work, as whatever works best for you. So we wrote our equation, and now we're going to solve the problem. So we drew the picture, we did draw it, so we could count up how many pencils there are in total, or we can use addition. So by counting, we just count up all the pencils. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Or else I could simply skip count by 6s. 6 plus 6, so 6. 6 plus 6 then is 12. 12 plus 6 is 18. And 18 plus 6 is 24. So both of those equal 24. So you could use whatever equation you want. You don't have to use both equations to solve this problem. So in total, there's 24, and we need to make sure we label. So it's 24 pencils in total. And so these are the steps that's going to help you be successful in solving word problems. Okay, let's try another word problem. So here's our second word problem right here. Let's go ahead and read it. And we'll first visualize the word problem, list the information that we know, figure out what we need to know, the question that the problem's asking, draw a picture of the problem, figure out what operation we're going to use and solve the problem, and then last solve the problem. Okay, so this word problem is, the Emerson garden is 5 feet long and 8 feet wide. What is the area of the garden? So right away I'm going to use an area model, because this is asking about area, and we know that in order to do area, we're always multiplying the length and the width of the area. So let's start off by visualizing this word problem. So I'm picturing a garden. I'm picturing that it's outside, and it's this huge square. And if I were to take a measuring tape, I would measure that, I would measure the length, which is like the up and down, which is 5 feet long. And then I'm picturing the width is 8 feet long, wide. So I'm picturing that it's actually wider than it is long. And then I pictured that when it's asking me what is the area of the garden, I'm trying to figure out what is the measurement of all of the area inside the garden. So where the soil is, where the plant is, and I gotta know how to solve that. I need to multiply that width, that 8 feet, by the length, which is that 5 feet. So what I know is that the garden is 5 feet long and 8 feet wide. And actually for feet, I'm just going to use this common abbreviation FT for wide. So that's my WIC, what I know. All right, and what I need to know is what is the area of the garden. And I'm just going to put that as my wink, what I need to know. So I'm just thinking of that in the back of my mind. So I did those next 2 steps. And now I'm going to draw a picture. So I know that this is the length right here. And this is 5 feet long. And then this is 8 feet wide. And I know this is going to be a rectangle, so I'm going to combine it. So I know that, and then I'm trying to figure out what this area is in the middle. And so what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to make an area model. So I'm going to actually erase the inside because I'm going to use this part. And so the first thing I'm going to do is create my area model. So I'm going to write an equation. Let's write an equation for this. So I know what doing an area model, I'm doing multiplication, 5 times 8, and I'm trying to figure out what that middle area is, and I know that's going to be in feet. All right, so I'm going to create my area model. I know this needs to be 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then I need to put 8 going this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we need, shoot, it's gonna be hard to, so we'll just add 1 down here, because it's a good learning thing, is to make sure you have enough there. So we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, great. So now what we need to do, and you can also just use grid paper for this too, but now what we need to do is we need to count up all these little boxes if we want to use the area model. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5 right here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and I'm noticing that I actually just need to skip count by 5s going up 8. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Because that's just a shortcut. I know this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So the total area is 40 feet then. Another thing that you could have done if you didn't want to draw the picture and if you knew you're just doing 5 feet by 8 feet, you could have done skip counting method, you could have done draw it, you could have done repeated addition, or you could have used the area model. Okay, so now it's your turn to go ahead and get started on your classwork. We will continue working on a couple more word problems tomorrow. So great job. Do your very best on your exit ticket and your classwork and homework, and we'll continue working on word problems tomorrow. Awesome job. Keep up the hard work. And when things get tricky, keep on trying. Use these word problem strategies to help you even when you feel like, oh my gosh, there's no way I can do this. I don't understand. You can do it. Always try your best. All right, keep up the good work.